The reflection. In the quaint town of Maple Grove, an old mirror hung in the attic of an abandoned house. The townspeople whispered about it, claiming it held an unsettling secret. Many believed it was cursed, reflecting not just the physical appearance, but the soul of whoever stood before it. One rainy afternoon, a daring teenager named Max decided to explore the old house with his friends. As they climbed the creaky staircase to the attic, the air grew thick with dust and a sense of foreboding. The moment Max laid eyes on the mirror, he felt an inexplicable pull, as if it were beckoning him closer. "Dare you to look into it?" his friend Jake challenged, nudging him forward. Max hesitated, but curiosity won. He stepped up to the mirror, wiping away the grime with his sleeve. As his reflection stared back, he noticed something strange, a flicker of movement behind him. He turned, but the attic was empty. "Did you see that?" he asked, his voice shaky. "See what?" Jake laughed, but the other friends remained silent, uneasy. Max turned back to the mirror. This time, his reflection smiled, even though he hadn't. Confused, he took a step back. The reflection continued to grin, eyes glinting with mischief. "Max, you good?" Jake asked, concerned. "Yeah, just weird," he mumbled, still entranced by the mirror. Ignoring his friend's calls, he leaned in closer. The reflection began to change, morphing into a dark figure with hollow eyes. Panic surged through him as he realized the figure was reaching out, fingers stretching toward him. "Get away from it," Jake shouted, pulling Max back. Suddenly, the attic door slammed shut, and the temperature dropped. The reflection in the mirror warped, the figure now clawing at the glass, desperate to escape. "Let me in," it rasped, voice echoing through the room. Max stumbled back, fear gripping him. "We need to get out." But the door wouldn't budge. As the figure in the mirror grew more frantic, the whispers of his friends faded, drowned out by the creature's chilling voice. "Stay with me, Max. I can show you things." Max's heart raced as he felt the pull of the mirror intensify. He fought against it, focusing on the faces of his friends, their worried expressions flickering like candlelight. With a surge of determination, he turned away from the mirror and charged at the door. With a desperate shove, it flew open and he tumbled into the hallway, gasping for breath. His friends rushed to him, relief washing over their faces. "What happened?" Jake asked, eyes wide. "I don't know, but we have to get out," Max panted. They raced down the staircase, but as they reached the front door, Max glanced back. The mirror reflected nothing but the empty attic, but he felt the weight of the figure still watching him. As they burst into the rain-soaked street, Max couldn't shake the feeling that the mirror had left a piece of itself within him. That night, as he lay in bed, he couldn't sleep, haunted by the reflection that had smiled back at him. Days turned into weeks, and the memory of the mirror lingered, a dark shadow in the corners of his mind. One night, unable to resist, he found himself drawn back to the old house. Heart pounding, he climbed the stairs and stood before the mirror once more. "Let me in," the voice whispered, seductive and enticing. This time he hesitated, yet the pull was stronger than ever. As he reached out, the reflection smiled wider, and he felt the cool surface beckoning him forward. But before he could touch the glass, he heard a voice behind him. "Max, don't." He turned, but the attic was empty. Conflicted, he looked back at the mirror, the figure now pressing harder against the glass, eyes burning with urgency. The air crackled with tension as he stood at the crossroads of choice, the mirror's surface shimmering like a portal. Would he step forward into the unknown or turn away and leave it behind? The answer hung in the balance, the attic silent, awaiting his decision.